Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to another session of Pájaro de Fuego. This is our third session. This is a very special program because I'm going to be talking about my city, Guadalajara, and we have a special guest, Cecilia Calderon. So I hope you enjoy it and have a good time, relax. Remember that you have to take care of ourselves. We're getting there with these crazy times, but we have to keep going. And it's a pleasure for me to be here and talk to you and show you the things that I like. So hope you enjoyed. Okay, I'm gonna start with my. Okay, all right. Well, first of all, we have to mention that Guadalajara used to call Nueva Galicia. That's where the limit of Nueva España came to Nueva Galicia, the occident of the country. But there were people before that. They were native people, and there were different cultures living there already. Some of them spoke Nahuatl, and that's the reason we have the native name that is called Atemajac or Atemajac, but the real pronunciation is Atemajac, and means where the river turns different ways, where it separates the river way. There's the Rio San Juan de Dios. That's where we're talking about. So the place used to be Atemajac, and the city was found in 1542. So this is a long, long time, and this is the symbol of the place, Atemajac. So the native people, they have this way to represent places. They call toponymian symbols or signs, where in the symbols and in the language, it represents the place we're talking about. So a long, long time ago, it was called Atemajac. Guadalajara is the capital of the state of Jalisco. It is on the occidental or the west part of the country, and it's on the Pacific. It's that green state, beautiful green state that you can see on the bottom. And we have, I'm going to show you the historic neighborhoods, because Guadalajara, the second biggest city in the country, is very big and important. So the oldest neighborhood that we have registered is the Barrio de Analco, founded in 1542. As you can see, this is the same year of the foundation of the city. That meant that the people from Analco, it was native people living there in the area. We have some beautiful old photographs here, and there's an sculpture of Cuauhtemoc, and you can see the old church from those times, from the 1500s. The next neighborhood or barrio is called Mezquitan, and this is it means the place of the mesquites, or los mezquites, el lugar de los mezquites. Probably in those days were just trees, but right now it's a beautiful neighborhood. On the photograph on the left, we can see the famous Roxy building. That's where we were going to concerts and all kinds of events. It was an old theater from the 40s and 50s, and then turned out on this cultural place where we can hang out and watch live music. And it's a beautiful neighborhood. You got to see the churches, obviously, in the area, and it's a really famous barrio or neighborhood in Guadalajara. Next one is called Mexicalcingo or Mexicalcingo, as what we called. Another really old one from 1542. And this is funny because, I don't want to say another word, but a little funny because it means Mexicalcingo. It means the little house of the Mexica. So that means that some people of the Mexica culture were living in the area, in this Mexicalcingo neighborhood. It's another beautiful old neighborhood, very, very old. And this is one of the most famous one. It's called San Juan de Dios. because it's famous because the market, the three stores market, and it's right beside of the river, San Juan de Dios River. Used to be a river over there. Now it's Calzada Independencia, the big, huge avenue. So we have San Juan de Dios, Barrio San Juan de Dios, founded in 1557, founded by the Nueva Galicia first bishop. So you see, Nueva Galicia, that was the order from the Spanish government at the beginning of La Colonia. And like I said, Nueva Galicia was kind of like the new border to going up the country with different explorers, invaders, whatever you want to call them, all the way to the north. Father Kino, all those people who came here in Arizona, starting from way, way south over there in the area. And San Blas, El Puerto de San Blas, that's where they were building all these huge boats and starting to exploring north, all the way to Vallaquino in Sonora, and from there, California, and then the story goes. This is another classic one. It's called El Santuario. Not that old, but still from 1770. And is on the records, they said that there were 158 homes occupied by the same number of families and 176 inhabitants. So those were the records on the 1770. This is the area where it's beautiful buildings. It's called Santuario, and it's famous for these lunches or this kind of sandwich with cream on top, and very classic in Guadalajara. Now is the time for those who love, including myself, traditional dishes. These are from the area. Number one, pozole, as many different states have. We have a beautiful pozole. But I think more representative will be the next one on the right, that is called birria. It's made with goat. There's different kinds of birria. You can find it here in the valley also. But the traditional goes is on the ground, like the barbecue. Then we have carne en su jugo. It's like a soup with beans and onions, and then got bacon and a little bit of chili, and it's a really delicious dish. Then we have on the bottom, in the middle is the torta ahogada, the classic sandwich, from Guadalajara, and got pork inside, and you can put salsa on top, and then the chile, because there's a difference. Salsa, not spicy, chile, spicy. So when you order your torta ahogada, you say half ahogada, media ahogada, or ahogada completa, just drown it completely. So that's very spicy. It's a tradition, for people to go there, and some other people who drink the night before and they have a hangover. That's the classic way of control that. And then we have a jericaya. It's like a flan. It is like dessert. Jericaya made with egg and milk, and it's really good. It's very similar than flan. And the drink, tejuino. Tejuino is a drink base of corn, probably from ancient times, pre-Hispanic, obviously. And we're going to continue with the classic artist. This is one of my favorite parts. Gerardo Murillo, as many people know him, like Dr. Athol. Dr. Athol is very important because he's the pioneer on creating his own pigments. He followed the pre-Hispanic tradition of the process of creating pigments. So he created his own, and he makes these huge, huge paintings about nature, and especially volcanoes in the state of Jalisco. And then he went all over the country to paint those things. And he was trying to find his own voice and his identity as a Mexican. That was his philosophy, to get into the deep roots until find the real essence as a Mexican, starting with the art. So another important thing from him is that he was the one who inspired Diego Rivera, David Alfaro Siqueiros, and Jose Clemente Orozco, the three master muralists, to look for themselves and find the real Mexican essence to create art. So I really encourage you to look for him and see some of his paintings. They're really, really amazing. Dr. Atle. Then, as we were talking about the classic muralist, Jose Clemente Orozco, famous because his murals in Mexico City and especially in Guadalajara. And we have on the left side the Man on Fire, his masterpiece created in Hospicio Cabañas, one of the classic buildings in Guadalajara. And then we have Father Hidalgo on the right, and another government building. We have him in the middle. I want to mention that he wasn't born in Guadalajara. He was born in Zapotlan, Jalisco. This is where my mom is from. So, saludos a todos por allá. More recent artists, these are international well-known artists. I just want to mention that because Alejandro Colunga, he's really famous, and his pieces are this style of fantastic reality, classic style from Jalisco, especially from Guadalajara. So he paint and he's a sculptor too. We can see the one on the left is in Puerto Vallarta. These are bronze sculptures, but are like benches where you can sit. So the people love them. Everybody loves them. I really like them. I think they're very original, and they're fantastic beings, with weird bodies and heads and transformations. It's very, very unique and very creative. So Alejandro Colunga, check it out also. Here we have Sergio Bustamante. This is another polemic artist, international, well known, because he used to have stores on each airport, a big airport in Mexico. Really famous because of his images. Also on the style of fantastic reality, where a cat can have a woman's face and vice versa. This is the person who started in the little town of Tlaquepaque in Tonalá, and then started being well recognized. And then they have this huge workshop creating a lot of pieces for all over the world. So very well famous and original artist, Sergio Bustamante. Check it out online. Then I'm going to show you one of the most famous architects from the 20s, 30s, 40s in Mexico, especially in the state of Jalisco, in Guadalajara, Luis Barragan. This is our Frank Lloyd Wright in Mexico, as compare it. Similarly, he built a lot of beautiful houses, unique architecture in the country, especially in the state. And the one that we see, the yellow one, some of you know of them. This is a really famous house. It's called Casa Clavijero. We went there last year, and it's so amazing house. The one on the left is on the right. I'm sorry, is another Casa Quiñones. It's on the funcionalist modern Art Deco style. So it's a very interesting architect. Always looking for a mix of the Mexican style with the times of those where he was creating the 20s and 30s, mixing these different styles. Then we have these modern buildings and facts, because the city keeps growing and growing and growing. So every time that I have the chance to go and visit, so I realize how big it is and how many cars there are. And then we have this new area. It's called Paseo Andares, Puerta de Hierro, one of those private neighborhoods, and very, very modern, huge buildings, and beautiful place also. And I want to tell you that right now it's approximately 5 million people living in the city. This is where I find out. And the metropolitan area includes 8 municipalities, 8 little towns that were separated once, and now they are together. That's the whole metropolitan area. Like here in the Valley of the Sun, we have different cities. And also the area in a square kilometer is 2.73 kilometers in square kilometers. The whole area. This is what I was doing a research. This is the double size of the total of the London metropolitan area. So just to give you an idea how big this city is, and it's amazing, how it's been developed in itself. So definitely, I encourage you to visit when you get a chance and go to downtown and try all this delicious food and go to the museum. There's a lot of art, painters and sculptors and musicians, and there's many things to do. So when you get a chance, go visit the city, Guadalajara, and then you can visit Puerto Vallarta a couple days and come back. It's very easy to visit. All right. Well, thank you very much. And now it's time to move to the interview with Cecilia Calderon. All right. Hello. We have a special guest on this session of Pájaro de Fuego. This is a great artist that I really admire. Her name is Cecilia Calderon. And welcome, Cecilia Calderon. How are you?
Thank you. Very good.
All right.
Very
Well,
glad to be here.
no problem. Thank you for being part of these sessions. And can you tell us what is that inspired you to make art?
Well, just I just see things in nature. I love texture, and so I'm always like trying to find ways to basically put texture in my pieces and make them something that connects you to nature.
Oh, sounds good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So can you explain a little bit about your techniques? I really like how you've been developed all different techniques on these mixed media pieces, and so I'm wondering what are the techniques that you use or you have been using through the time?
I started with copper, and so I learned I learned copper sculpture and all the patinas that you can get, the colors with the copper.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a while, I decided to start combining copper with other materials. So I started doing some pieces on paper with oils,
Mm-hmm.
and putting some pieces of copper. But then I wanted more texture, and so I started experimenting with textiles.
Oh.
So now I'm kind of doing a combination of textiles with ropes, with copper, with oils, and then I like to use different beads, and now I'm incorporating some bronze. So I'm always looking to incorporate
different materials. Yeah,
different
the result
materials.
is very interesting. Actually, one of the latest pieces that I saw. Can you tell us about the project that you just finished and installed? Is really amazing.
Yeah, that was a work of a year.
Wow.
So I had these clients that I did some work for them, and then they called me and they sent me a picture in their home. This is a home in the mountains in Colorado, and they said, okay, well, this wall has your name, so you can do whatever you want. And I was like, oh my God. So then I started talking to them and asking them. So, I mean, they are very much into conserving the native plants and the native grasses for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them, so obviously you like the animals and you want them to come and this be like a safe haven for them. So why don't you tell me which animals you like the best? And then from there I can make an abstract piece but that depicts those animals. And so then they came back and they said, okay, well, we like the elk and the deer.
Okay.
So I started doing some designs, and I think I presented them with like 4 different designs.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to work with the clients,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, they are the ones that have to live with the piece. So I told them, you just tell me if you like sections of one, then we can combine it with sections of the other one. So they like the top of one and the bottom part of another one. So I combined it, and that's how it came by. They wanted elk, deer, and then they wanted, their ranch is called Ladder Canyon Ranch, and it has a river that goes through it.
Yeah.
So they wanted to depict the river also.
Oh, nice.
So then that's why, the bottom part, I put copper with bronze
Yeah.
and some beads.
Yeah, it is so amazing piece. How big it is?
It's about 10 feet by 10 feet.
Wow, and
Yeah.
heavy.
Yes, it's heavy.
Wow.
So I spent almost 5 days installing it,
Wow.
because all the bottom part had to be installed line by line,
Yeah.
and they had to, align.
Wow, what a great experience. Huh?
Yes, that was a
Doing
great
that
experience.
beside, after creating the piece, then this installation, that's another
Yep.
another part of your work, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Well, can you tell us what in the future, what you have in mind, or what would you like to do in the near future?
I would love to make big pieces like this, because I think, I don't know, it's just, but my dream is to have a big studio where I could mentor teenage kids. So between all of us, we could come up with a concept and do a big piece like this, and maybe, I don't know, market it so that, it sells, and that money could go towards their college tuition or something like that. But
Wow.
I enjoy working with teenagers,
Mhm.
and I think it could be, a really cool
Yeah, I think
collaboration.
that's a great idea to have a collaboration and create a community of art. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this program, because I want to get connected with other artists and create a sense of community through the arts. So yeah, well, when you got your first piece with your collaborators, send
I'll
us
come
an
back.
image, yeah. So we can show it to the people.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cecilia, for being here, and appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for being here on this series of Pájaro de Fuego. And
Thank you for having me.
no problem.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, well, thank you for watching Pájaro de Fuego, the place for culture, art, music, and history. This is your host, Oliverio Balcells. Remember, check out my website, oliveriobalcells.com, or Fort Lizard Studios at fortlizard.org. You can follow me on Instagram, Oli Balcells. Check out my music on Spotify as Oli Balcells, or my YouTube channel, Oliverio Balcells, and obviously Facebook, Fort Lizard Studios and Oliverio Balcells. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.